What is up, guys? Welcome back to Ever in Frame. This is Ever back with another video. Well, obviously it's Ever, right? I mean, who else is going to be on this channel? Today I thought I would be talking about day 24, what I've learned so far on this journey. I've been posting for 30 days straight. We're on day 24. I am extremely proud of myself and happy that I've gotten this far. It's a mixed feeling. It's funny because I had talked with my brother earlier in the week. He's like, "Hey man, you only have a few more days." And I think I made a short about this and kind of to expand upon it. Hitting day 24 and realizing that we're only a few days away from our goal. It's crazy. It feels great. Like, although I feel like I've cheated, right, with the shorts, because my whole idea kind of fell apart. Because I'll tell you guys, and if you guys seen the other videos, I make these excuses, but life kind of just gets away sometimes. I chose the wrong time to do this challenge. Right? It wasn't the perfect time, but I just did it. Right? Again, we're changing our POS system. I don't even know if that's the right abbreviation. But it's a new system at work, and so we had training that we had to do, which I haven't finished yet. I need to do that, but prioritizing other things, but I probably should get that done. I need to, I was on call this week, other things added up. Last month I had 2 babysitting gigs, so I was away from home, which I didn't plan for, which limits my gear because my PC's here at home. And there's a lot of things I've learned from not hitting the standard that I wanted in my videos and then doing it anyways, right? And so I guess let me break it down to how you could take it generally, but this is how I kind of took it. And so first and foremost, I am proud of myself. I'm happy that I've stuck to something for so long. Generally speaking, I would have quit maybe day 7, day 5 in a habit of continuously posting. Even though those shorts, I felt like some of them were it's not the edit ones. I'm not talking about the edit ones. I'm talking mainly about the ones that are like, "Hey guys, this is an update." Those ones. I feel like those I used as little just check marks to get things done, essentially. And so I hate that I couldn't let myself enjoy at least the victory of doing it. The goal was to post a video every single day for 30 days. That was it. Although in my mind, when I thought about posting a video, I thought about this full-length content, editing, getting into editing. Actually, what my whole plan was I was going to take the time to finish my video program, which again, I haven't really touched it at all. What I've learned, and then use these videos as establishing kind of my knowledge in the new skill that I'm getting. So for example, I'm on the lighting section of the videos now, and so I'm learning where to place my lights. As you guys can see, I'm somewhat learning where to place the lights and how to film with light. I learned to always shoot shadow side, which is funny. Like, you look at any movie, and you'll see that they always shoot on the shadow side because it generally gives the character depth, adds kind of 3D look, and doesn't seem so flat. Adding lights to the background, I have my other panel light over here to my right, which is green, which I'm still playing around with. I really like it. I think it kind of does throw off the colors a little wrong because I have this one as a kind of a warm hue, and then my restroom is a white, I believe. So they're kind of like tri-colors, different things, and so it may not work, but I kind of like it. I mean, it looks a lot better than what I've done in the past, and I think it's a step in the right direction. And so learning about that, one of the big things I've learned too is when you add new gear, there's a learning curve. And I know that's probably obvious, but you also have to take time to learn it. For example, my lights. I have 2 panel lights that I can use for background light and the key light. So the key light is pretty cool because it's pretty simple but effective in the way you can use it. So right now I'm trying to avoid turning my head this way and looking this way. So the camera is right here, right? I can look ahead, but if I look this way, just slightly, you get that glare, right? Which is something we don't want. At least I wouldn't want. I want you guys to see my eyes, be able to see me, and talk to you guys, connect, right? And so that's something that I'm still learning where to place it. But I am learning, like, I had it. Let me show you guys real quick. I had this light over here originally, and just having it over here, see the difference? It's crazy. So I have a really harsh shadow. It's like a 50-50, but it's so dark on the other side of my face, right? And it kind of doesn't look the greatest. I mean, unless you try to go really dramatic. I'm not sure when you would use this, probably in like a movie or something, but if I turn slightly, it kind of, I could be talking this way, but it's like if I'm talking off camera. So I think that would be kind of like, you know, in the interviews when they're like talking to another camera and they have that like view on the side. It's probably what they would do. But it's been fun, honestly. Like, I've had fun with this. Learning just what to do with video composition. That's also another thing, is learning where to put it. I think what's funny, I'm trying to adjust this light to where it was, where it felt good. There we go. I think that's good. Okay, just my glasses. Okay. So, funny enough, is another thing I'm learning still is video composition. So, you know what's funny is I think I've mentioned the grid, but I keep forgetting that you guys don't see it. So there is a grid that you can set up on generally any camera. It is a 3x3, so there's 9 squares, and it's literally like there's a square here, 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 and then there's a square there, there, and then down, and then of course there's 2 more right in here, and they're all even. And what it is, it breaks the scene into sections, and there's something called the rule of thirds. Generally speaking, you want your subject, so like for example, rule of thirds is, from what I understand, it's filling the scene with something, right? So for example, if I would have been on a blank wall and it's just me, pretty boring, right? Pretty boring scene, doesn't give it much depth. But as you can see to my right, you have my restroom where I'm using the door, and then you have my other whiteboard, and then to my left with the green hue, you have my other whiteboard with the storyboard. It's not storyboard, I'm sorry, storytelling spine kind of breakdown, and we'll get into that later. And I'm learning that too, you know, about the hero's journey and kind of writing, getting on the writing side of it, but that's for another video. But it's really cool seeing that. Like, I've saved videos of video composition and using different, even abstract ways. So this is generally the format, right? So you try to stay in here, how satisfying it feels when you have like it almost perfect, like you have it in each section. So like right now, my left and my right hand are in each, they're on the bottom squares, and then my chest is in the middle and my head's there, so it's like almost symmetrical. And then on each side, I kind of have something there to fill in the gaps. So rule of thirds, right? So 1 subject is me, 2, and then the 2 whiteboards in the restroom on each side is 2 and 3. So pretty cool. Like the idea of that. There's another way of filming where you kind of essentially angle it a certain way, and then there's like the triangle where you can do like the subject is here, it starts here, and then they're like, that's more for like buildings and skyscrapers and stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. But it's very interesting learning video composition, excuse me. So learn that, adjustments, movement. That's another thing I've been learning. Movement is essentially, there are a few types of movements. I'm kind of going through this, like I'm literally trying to knock this off, just going off the top of my head. Again, not writing a script, which I feel like when I don't write a script, I kind of blabble, like blah, 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 and just go off. But kind of showing you guys what I've been trying to learn about this stuff. And so movement is, like it sounds like, there's movement in film. This is very stationary. Obviously, I'm just doing an interview. I'm filming by myself, so I don't have anyone that can do movements for me. But generally, there is, now I'm gonna probably forget most of them, but there's pan, which is you pan to the left or to the right, right? And then there's tilt, you tilt up, and I don't want to, yeah, it's, there you go, you tilt up or down. And then there's dolly. Dolly is going back. Well, I can't just move myself, right? So dolly would be like, let's pretend the camera's moving. It isn't, but like dolly is if I were to like move the camera towards me, or if I were to move the camera away, and obviously the background would move too with it. So essentially it'd be like that slightly. That would be dollying, and of course I'm not doing it. Literally just sliding the the tripod and then dollying back. And then there's one called jib. I'm probably saying that wrong, but essentially jib is just the dolly but up and down. So this one's a little easier. I have a little crank that I can use, and so up or down. That can add depth to your video as well. And so I learned a lot doing these videos. At least doing the actual videos, I feel one, posting videos every day is helped me stay consistent with it. And even then, behind the scenes, I'm starting to adjust my schedule. I'm waking up earlier, writing more in the morning. So what I'll do is I'll plan, like this video, I planned the outline of it. You know, essentially day 24. I haven't done what have I learned so far, which I feel like day 30 is going to be similar, but more just like a celebratory video, kind of maybe a collage of everything I've done so far, what I've learned, and kind of the same thing, but maybe actually show you guys what I've learned. And then day 24 is just kind of another update, because I did day 7, I did day 14, and I forgot to do, well, day 21 I didn't really do anything similar to that, so figured might as well do it for day 24. And so it's been a heck of a journey, honestly. I can't wait to see what happens next when I realize that what it takes to make videos. That's another big thing I've learned, is realization. A lot of these kind of sound similar, sounds the same, right? But it's true. Like, I sound like a broken record, but a lot of the times it's the truth. Like, I've really learned that it takes really strategic planning to make decent content videos, even simple videos like this. So literally I broke it down to like 7 steps almost, and want to break it down to 4. But the main, I would say 4, maybe 4 or 3. It would be, obviously brainstorming ideas. So get your ideas out. What do you want to film about? What do you want to talk about? 2 is scripting or storyboarding. So storyboarding is essentially kind of the example I can give you guys is my storybook. I have it here. Not, it's over there. You don't want to go off screen, but essentially storyboarding. You draw a picture. You would draw, like for me, right? Like let's say I do this freeze frame. I would have drawn myself with my hands up. Okay, at this time I would say this. Have my hands up and say that. Or this action will happen while this part of the video is playing, or things like that. Planning out each scene, essentially. And so storyboarding, writing, the script. If you want to get into script writing, that's another thing that I want to do, is that way I'm not really coming out here with nothing, not nothing to say, but like trying to think of what to say, like freestyling and off the dome, doing those things. And so, and then number 3, filming. Filming is the most like time-consuming part, I would say, because generally you'll do like 2, 3, 4 takes, and then at least to get the best version of it that you'd like, or that you're satisfied with. Because to be honest, that's one thing I need to work on, is my perfectionism. I'm always trying to be perfectionist, make everything perfect all the time, which is never going to be perfect. And essentially gotta work on getting that habit out of me, but it's still there. So you do like 4 or 5 takes, whatever you want to do to get it done. And then finally, once you're done with filming it, down to editing. And of course, posting and doing all those things. We'll see, there's more steps in it, but those are the 4 main steps. Like I would say, the main steps would be those. Because of course you can get into posting, what title do I want to make, thumbnail, descriptions, tags for YouTube, and then if you're using just TikTok, what are you going to do the tags for, what music are you going to use, all those things. You can even get into video analytics, like what worked the best, which is what I want to get into as well. What's really cool is with YouTube Studios, you can look back and see what are your best performing videos. Like for example, my shorts are the most viewed videos out there, but still, although there's a lot of views, there's not that much interaction. There's no comments, there's no likes, there's no, because the quality is low. And I know right now it's just gonna be silence, mainly talking to my friends and family, which is fine. And even if it does this for a while, I'm generally doing this because I want to get into creating something, whether it's videos, music videos for clients, or I'm going to get into also helping small businesses create, their own videos, because I know that's a service that some people would like. They don't have the know-how, and I want to create that and help people. Small businesses, I feel, especially here in the RGV, don't have much to invest into video production, or they don't know the value of it, and I kind of want to show them the value. So that's my plan for the future. It's one idea, and so this whole YouTube channel honestly is going to help me hone my skills, be able to pass that on to the business that will be able to use it for landing clients or customers and go from there. And so that's a lot of steps that you can do for your YouTube channel and get it going, But that's what I've learned so far. And those are the steps that I'm trying to adjust, because from what I tried, like when I made the Good Morning video, I came up with the idea, I storyboarded half of it, which I was like, again, I came up with the idea, I'm like, okay, cool. And then while I was at work, I was thinking about what, literally the clips were playing in my head of, okay, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. One thing I did learn from that video was when you're making a kind of cinematic video, try and make a cinematic version of just doing something mundane, like reading a book or making coffee or getting out of bed. I originally was just gonna make coffee, but I hadn't eaten that day, and so I was like, let's make breakfast, And so I started freestyling the breakfast part. I had everything, the coffee planned out, but I did not have the eggs and bacon and all that stuff. I didn't have that at all. So I think it took me longer. I think I realized that it was going to take me long. It was crazy. It was the stuff that I had storyboarded took a lot less time because I knew what to look for. I already had the scene of me waking up with the camera really close to my eyes, waking up, hearing the alarm off screen. I actually was going to have, so what's funny is in my storyboard, I had the phone with the ringer going off and me turning it off, but I used my phone to record, so there was no way to do that. And so I was like, normally just have it off screen, right? And then just have me turn it off screen. So it's never going to be perfect, but you kind of get the steps done and it's a lot faster. I got up all the way to the kitchen, I believe, and I was going to do just coffee, but then I just was like, let's make eggs. So I just kind of freestyled the whole thing. And so in the kitchen, I probably spent more time there than getting to there. And I filmed all the way there. And using lights, I used this light. I had it at a blue light hue, very mellow. I wanted it to be dark because, of course, I'm trying to show that the room is off, which is the lights are off essentially. Which is funny, going back to it, it looks super dark, but it was super bright in my room, which is pretty cool because essentially I adjusted the ISO and the shutter speed to lower the intensities of the lights and did all those things. And so I learned a lot making that short film or short cinematic video. Learned a lot. Learned what it took to get from point A to point B, and then editing it. Editing it took, I would say, maybe an hour and a half. And so I think from idea, that's kind of, I guess idea to film, it took probably anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours, which is not bad. But I feel like you can streamline it because if you know the scenes you're gonna do, you just go through those scenes, check them off, make sure they look good, redo them if you need to, and go from there. There's another thing too, like the coffee machine was so fast that I didn't realize. I was like, oh, I had to set up the scene, and then I was like pushing the coffee machine, and I had to be really close, click on it, and then I had to go back and I put my mug there and let it pour, and it was a mess, but it was fun. I liked it. It was cool. I want to do more things like that, and so I want to make more videos, like cinematic, kind of get into it. And sorry guys. I always forget that I have a mic here, and so. But I mean, that's it. I mean, it's day 24. Thank you guys so much for sticking by. Anyone who's watching, mom, dad, bros, appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, it's been a heck of a journey. I learned a lot. And main thing I guess I can take away from today is don't wait for the perfect moment. It's never gonna be perfect. Have standards, but don't let those standards get in the way of small victories. I think for me, that's the one thing I do need to work on is the small victories, because allowing myself to enjoy those small victories is going to accumulate, snowball into momentum for the next few years to come, right? Starting is the hardest part. I think that's the biggest thing I've also learned from this challenge is starting is the hardest part, because it's scary putting yourself out there and just doing something that's not everyone is willing to do, or just looks, and I know it's gonna look cringy, or it's gonna look weird to certain people, or it's gonna be bad. I know right now my video quality is low, but when you're down here, there's nowhere else to go but up. I can only improve. That's what I hope to see. And of course, there is that big fear of putting all the practice, put all the work, and you don't get better. But you're not gonna know unless you try, and keep trying. But understand that if you're not getting better, there's probably a reason. Probably doing the same mistakes, right? Get criticism, have your friends look at it. I think on day 30, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna share my link to all my friends and let them watch. Criticize, put it in the comments like, oh bro, the lighting was too bright, and don't get me wrong, most of your friends are gonna be, I think good friends will tell you what's good and bad about your videos, and I think your family is probably going to encourage you with, oh man, your videos are good, and at least you're doing it. And my brother, he did a really good job of telling me what was wrong. Not wrong, but just kind of like, hey, don't worry about the quality right now, you're doing it, right? And so that's a conversation we had, and kind of picked up my spirits in that way. And so yes, let yourself enjoy those small victories, and that's what I need to work on myself. And so those shorts, I gotta let those be victories because I post it, and that's what matters. And so I'm excited to see what's gonna happen these next few months, years, at the end of the year. My brother had a really good idea of, once I'm done with the 30 days, the next goal would be 2 high quality videos once a week. Right? No, twice a week. Excuse me. Two high quality videos twice a week. So that would be enough time to storyboard, write, and do all those things to be able to create higher quality videos. And I would love to see the difference, like the difference between, posting consistently. Because what's funny is I saw like videos on YouTube, on Instagram, little videos about, is it quality or quantity? A lot of people actually only post once to twice a week at most, at least a long form content like this. Shorts you could probably make once you get the B-rolling going and all these other things. Excuse me. But I'm excited. And I'm honestly running out of things to say, so I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for anyone being part of this journey. Like, comment, subscribe, and and remember guys, keep on filming. Thanks. See you in the next one. Peace.